This time, she said she did not want to name Diddy. She said she was afraid that she wouldn't be believed and that later on, the rapper would harm her.
People around Diddy and what everybody knows.
What happened from 8 to 11? And why did all Kim's stuff come up missing?
D-I-D-D-Y. D-E-V-I.
It now appears that reports have surfaced suggesting Diddy may have allegedly attempted to put out a hit on Gene Deal and Jaguar Wright after they publicly spoke out about his alleged crimes. The claims have sent shockwaves through the community, adding a chilling new layer to an already explosive situation. What makes it even more unsettling is that these accusations aren't just rumors floating around the internet, they're coming directly from the people involved themselves. Hearing the story straight from the source makes the entire situation feel far more intense, raising serious questions about what might really be happening behind the scenes.
With exposures, you make yourself vulnerable to all kinds of attacks, seen and unseen. What happened to my friend? When he passed away, there was $250,000 on my head and $150,000 on his. But what if I had decided to go back with my head held low and said, Sean, I'm willing to play the game, and then found a way to get inside of him and move him around?
Cam, let me tell you something, man. If I worried about what somebody would do for me, I wouldn't be the man that I am. I keep my head on the swivel. I do what I have to do to protect myself and my family. All I know is that I know one thing for certain, two things for sure. I got people out here that love me. You understand? And if something happened to me, I know people's gonna make sure you meet me wherever we gotta go after this life.
And this revelation becomes even more unsettling when you consider what Gene Deal had already claimed earlier. According to him, Diddy had previously tried to reach out and silence him before, long before these latest allegations surfaced. That detail adds a disturbing layer to the story, suggesting this may not be an isolated accusation but part of a pattern. If true, it paints a picture of someone allegedly attempting to control the narrative and shut down voices speaking out. And when you connect those earlier warnings with the recent claims about a supposed hit being put out, the situation starts to feel far more serious and far more chilling than anyone initially realized.
We be coming back to New York, and somebody was telling me that, yo, listen here, yo, he trying to get witnesses. Remember when they released that first thing of Cassie, and I said that Diddy was trying to contact people for character witnesses, people for who he had problems with before, whatever like that, and trying to talk to them in the whole 9 yards. That's when they dropped that thing with Cassie. The Homeland Security had some agency or whatever like that that deals with that, dropped that thing on Cassie to show everybody, oh, y'all want to help him? Y'all, this is what y'all want to help? This is who y'all want to, you know, say that he ain't never did nothing. This is what you want to put your brand on? And everybody started backing up from him. Everybody was talking about, yo, man, Cassie was a gold digger. Cassie was this, that, and the third. She loved it in the whole 9 yards. And then when they seen that, all his friends just, or so-called friends, went away. So him not having a bond is not surprising.
Yeah, and he offered them $50 million, and they still denied his bond.
He should have waited to see what they was gonna offer. Because if he got $50 million to get him and offer that, then they think like, yo, that's too little of a money.
And you right about Diddy phone being tough, because news came out that his former bandmate from Dirty Money, she called the other group member Dunn 58 times trying to get her to stop the lawsuit against Diddy.
She ain't the only one he was trying to get in contact with. You understand? He sent somebody through somebody else to try to get in contact with me. Enough is enough. Oh, okay. You tell Big Mama that enough is enough. You can't tell Wolf Mama enough is enough. You tell D Ferg Mama enough is enough. You understand? You tell all those people who supported you and they survivors, enough is enough.
You didn't tell me about that. So he tried to get somebody to reach out to you?
Now I got a phone call from Kirk Burrows. And Kirk Burrows, and I ain't gonna even give this guy no play. Not Kirk Burrows, but one of the Puff dudes that I know that's real close to him said, Kirk told me, yo, he wanna reach out to you, Gene. He wanna speak to you. I said, speak to me for what? What do you want to speak to me for? If he's trying to speak to me, it's for Puff. Point blank. I know the dude. I know how close he is to Puff. He's been with Puff from day one. So he ain't got nothing to say to me, bro. But Kirk Burrows did say to me that the dude said enough is enough. When do it becomes enough? Yo, because, bro, listen, I didn't ask to be put in this situation. You understand? And a lot of people ain't gonna understand this. Because a lot of people wouldn't give up what I've given up to be in this situation. You understand? My whole thing about it is, when you lean on right, you ain't gonna never turn to wrong.
And honestly, the most chilling part of all this is that putting hits out on people may not even be the worst thing Diddy is accused of being capable of. If you listen to what Gene Deal and Jaguar Wright have been saying, it becomes clear why they might genuinely feel like they have reason to worry. According to various allegations and stories that have circulated for years, Diddy has long been surrounded by whispers connecting him to violent events in the industry. A recent expose by Rolling Stone added even more fuel to that fire. The report claims that the notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, was allegedly planning to leave Bad Boy Records shortly before his tragic death. Multiple sources interviewed for the article reportedly confirmed that Biggie had been involved in a legal struggle to regain control of his publishing rights. And according to The Big Payback, Diddy was fiercely determined to keep those rights, once saying he would never give them up until he was dead and his bones were crushed into powder. Hip-hop photographer Monique Bunn also shared that Biggie had personally confided in her about wanting out, saying he was absolutely preparing to leave Bad Boy. Another source echoed the same sentiment, claiming that many people in the industry eventually wanted to distance themselves from Puffy's control.
How you feel about the people that say Biggie was asking for him coming to LA so soon after Tupac got killed and him getting on the radio rapping Long Kiss Goodnight?
Man, you would get 100 people in the room, and out of the 100 people, probably 3 would say it was all right for Big to be in LA. 97% of those people would say he had no business in LA at that time. We all knew that. Why would Puff rent studio time? Come on, man, look, you gotta look at what people do, man. You know Pac just got killed. It ain't no kind of business Big was doing. Big couldn't even walk, he couldn't run. They was pushing him around in a wheelchair, brother. Why the hell would you rent studio time in LA for him to finish your album when in fact you got your own studio, Daddy's out? Let's keep it a buck. Let's stop this bullshit, man. Let's stop doing these interviews, man, about this, because people ain't getting it. He did not want the beef with the Crips. Puff ain't want the beef with the Dog Pound, Snoop them or whatever. Big started that beef. You understand what I'm saying? Puff ain't want none of that beef. So what I'm gonna do is, y'all want the shit? I'm gonna put him out the pasture. Catch him if you can. If you got that wolf in you, catch him if you can. Why in the hell you would put your man in a situation by sending him to Cali to work on your album, when you know not his nimbus, but your nimbus was just murdered by that you was running with. Why would you do that? Oh, they just wanted to do business. Business mind, man. No homo. But you know how some of these niggas out here be thinking, right? They hear that. Keep it real, man. Why is he out there working on Puff album when you got the Hit Factory? You got Daddy's House. You got the place where Tupac was shot at, Quad Studio. There's plenty of places Big could have been. Why the West Coast? Come on, man. And then you got a half retarded ass like you'll see Big love Cali. Big wanted his publishing. Big wanted his marketing. He knew he couldn't go nowhere and be who he needed to be without it. So if Puff would have told that nigga to go to hell with gasoline draws on, that nigga would have went to hell. All money ain't good money, brother.
The notorious B.I.G., also known as Biggie Smalls, was tragically shot and killed in March 1997 in a drive-by shooting in Los Angeles at just 24 years old. His death shocked the entire hip-hop world and remains one of the most infamous unsolved murders in music history. The killing happened shortly after he attended a music industry event, and despite years of investigations, theories, and speculation, the case has never been officially solved. Biggie's death came during the height of the intense East Coast-West Coast rap rivalry, and even decades later, the circumstances surrounding that night continue to spark debate and controversy. According to former insiders, the aftermath of Biggie's death was just as intense as the tragedy itself. Reports claim that Diddy quickly shifted focus to the business side of things in the days following the loss. Arista and Bad Boy's former publicity director, Layla Brookshire, who had been with Biggie just a day before he was killed, reportedly asked for time to grieve. But according to her account, Diddy instead pushed her to make sure Biggie's posthumous album Life After Death debuted at #1, turning the moment into a massive commercial release during an incredibly emotional time. At the same time, former Bad Boy bodyguard Gene Deal has also spoken out over the years, claiming that there are many lies circulating about who really killed Biggie.
I asked you about this. Before the interview, you was telling me about this. Captain Shaheed Muhammad from the Nation of Islam. You was telling me that a platform is trying to blame him for the murder of Biggie. Like, what's the deal with that?
Because Brother Shaheed is dead. That's why they're trying to push the narrative now. When Brother Shaheed was alive, they wouldn't dare to say anything to that nature. I met Brother Shaheed at the Million Man March in 1995 or 90? That was 95, right? 1995, I met Brother Shaheed at the Million Man March. October the 16th, my birthday, right. I seen him at Farrakhan. We was at Farrakhan's, the house they had for Farrakhan. We all got our badges because we all walked backstage together. Not backstage, but back in the Capitol where the minister spoke to the masses. I met Brother Shaheed then, seen him a couple of times before. You understand? I know Brother Shaheed when I seen him. Brother Shaheed was not the Muslim who walked up to me. All of a sudden, now everybody trying to put the pictures together and say all this old dumb shit. It didn't happen like that. Was not Brother Shaheed who came up to me. I wouldn't have showed Brother Shaheed my gun because I knew I would have been safe around him. I've been around him with Brother Mustafa, Farrakhan's son. So now that he's dead, everybody trying to post the pictures side by side to the guy that we identified and everything like that. Get out of here, man. Brother Shaheed was every bit about 6'4.5", 6'5". I would have known who he was when he walked down the street and walked away. Get out of here, man. That's just these content creators, people trying to make up shit, and people trying to spill the narrative from them crooked cops not doing the right thing to Big and on Big's case.
So who's the ones pushing that narrative?
I don't even want to get them to spin on your show, bro. You understand? I don't want to get them to spin on your show, but the people out there know that they some felonious content creators that's trying to put Gene Deal name in everything because you make this shit hotter than fish grease.
So you don't think it was him? You think it was Amir Muhammad?
I know it wasn't him. Ain't no think. I know it wasn't him. He wasn't the one with the blue suit, white shirt, and blue bow tie with the peanut head. It wasn't him.
Do you think it will ever come out that Amir Muhammad did it? Because, I mean, you've been saying that for a while. And the dude out here living his life, he do real estate now. And, I mean, that's crazy if he killed Biggie and he out here, doing real estate.
My man, it's some people that's working on Big's case. It's some people that are trying to come up with enough evidence to get those files reopened, get those cases that were sealed, unsealed. And when that happens, we're gonna be quite all right, bro.
The controversy didn't stop there. Just a few months after Biggie's death, Rolling Stone reportedly approached Bad Boy Records about a potential cover story. According to Kirk Burroughs, the label's co-founder and former president, he suggested that the magazine feature Biggie in tribute. But Burroughs later claimed that Diddy pushed back, arguing that Biggie was gone and that the focus should instead be on his upcoming debut album, No Way Out, which was set to release in July. Burroughs recalled that Diddy insisted he should be the one on the cover, and ultimately that's exactly what happened. Diddy appeared on the August 1997 cover of Rolling Stone. The decision sparked criticism and raised eyebrows across the hip-hop world, with some feeling that the moment should have honored Biggie instead. Even Death Row Records' Suge Knight, who was known for his own controversial reputation, weighed in on the situation. Reflecting on the aftermath of Tupac Shakur's death, Knight remarked that when Pac died, he didn't jump into the spotlight with music. He focused on picking up the pieces.
He was happy on Bad Boy. Do you think he was planning on leaving?
I feel that he was happy about his career. He was happy about the blow up. He was always on the line. He never let us feel comfortable like, oh, y'all did me right. Oh, I'm loving you guys right now. He would never give it up like that. He would always have us under pressure to keep doing it bigger and better. I honestly, when I look back on it, if he trusted Sean more, it would have been better. But he didn't trust him as much as the way Sean says they were best friends after he was dead. No, I didn't see that during the time we were working with him. I see that as an emotional cry out after he's gone. I saw him as wanting his music and everything to be right, have the number ones, and we delivered that. I think there might have been a little bit of a hole or a gap when it came time to people being friends. I think Sean wanted friendship too. He might have wanted the best friend thing. Biggie came with his friends and came with everything and was about to open up to the world with all kinds of new friends and new people. This tragic incident happened, and now he did belong to the world, but not even to us anymore. It was like he was gone, we had the music, and now we were left with his legacy. He was happy about blowing up. I can tell you he was happy about his success. He was happy about the stature that he had. I don't know if he was very happy about staying with us forever.
And now, the situation has taken yet another dramatic turn. Even Biggie's own mother is calling for the truth to come out. Over the years, Voletta Wallace, the mother of the notorious B.I.G., has repeatedly said that she wants full transparency about what really happened surrounding her son's death. She has made it clear that after nearly 3 decades of unanswered questions, those responsible should finally be held accountable.
Hey, here goes Ms. Wallace.
Hey, Ms. Wallace, Gene Deal.
Oh, hi, Gene. How are you?
All right, man. You know I ain't seen you since I came to your house and had that conversation with you. How you been? You all right?
I've been okay. I've been watching you on Facebook.
I'm sorry, Ms. Wallace. I'm sorry I had to do what I had to do, but you know, it is what it is.
Okay. I know you do.
Thank you, Ms. Wallace. Like I told people, I said if Ms. Wallace would have called me and told me to shut it down, I would have shut it down. Ms. Wallace ain't called. She knew how to get in touch with me. If Ms. Wallace didn't tell me to shut it down, I'm going to keep doing it because I respect you, Ms. Wallace.
Do what you do.
Thank you, Ma. I appreciate you.
What you do.
What was the backstory behind that? Big Mom calling you.
My man, that had to be, if I say exhilarating, it has to be one of the highlights of coming out here and doing what I've done over the last, since 97. Since 97. Since I seen Ms. Wallace. You know what I'm saying? To hold Ms. Wallace's hand and explain to what happened to her son that night, it was one of the, I guess, most emotional times I've ever had in my life. Because here I am explaining how your son died. When he was calling Ms. Wallace, I was screaming, yo, tell her I want to talk to her, I want to talk to her. But they had me on mute. But him being an outright brother and straight, he said, yo, Ms. Wallace, I got Jean on the phone. And she said, Jean Deal? And she said, He said, yeah, Gene Deal. He want to speak to her. She said, I watch his stuff on Facebook and YouTube all the time. And I was like, yo, my man, to hear Miss Wallace, Big Mother say that, brother, it sent a chill down me because it reminded me of Wolf Mother, Miss Mama Jones. She gave me her rights to say what I needed to say on the behalf of her son. She gave me her blessings. She came on my program. So, bruh, to hear Miss Wallace say that, and the first thing I said as a gentleman, I said, hey, Miss Wallace, how you doing? And then I wanted her to know that I respect her to the fullest. And the first thing I said was, Miss Wallace, if you tell me to stop, leave Puff, stop, no, I didn't say leave Puff. If you tell me to stop doing what I'm doing, I will. She said, no, G, I watch you. You keep doing it. You doing a good job. Man, listen here. Yo, I was happier than one of them boys at a Diddy party. I was so happy, man, it was crazy. Because this was the first time I had talked to Miss Wallace since the last time I talked to her and was telling her about Big's death. And she said, I didn't want to hear no more.
All of this information, combined with more than 100 allegations that have surfaced against Diddy in recent years, has pushed many people to revisit old interviews and public statements with a new perspective. In fact, one particular interview clip has recently gone viral on TikTok, where Diddy talks about the infamous East Coast-West Coast rivalry between Tupac Shakur and Biggie. In the clip, Diddy recalls the moment tensions escalated after Tupac released the explosive diss track, Hit 'Em Up. According to Diddy, he called Biggie and told him they shouldn't respond because the situation had become too dangerous. He said that if they fired back, someone could end up getting seriously hurt, showing how volatile the rivalry had already become at the time. Hit 'Em Up didn't just target Biggie. The track also took direct shots at Diddy, Bad Boy Records, and their entire circle, which only intensified the already boiling feud. Diddy even admitted that the record was powerful, recalling that whenever it played at a party, they would sometimes rush the DJ booth and stop the track from playing.
Everybody knew that Puff took Tupac blueprint and changed Biggs and Bad Boy in image. I Get Around, talked about how fly you was, how many girls you mess with, how many cars you drive, how much money you got, what you willing to do. He took his image. Pac was the first one on the scene wearing Versace shirts. He went and got the same Versace shirts Pac had. Which, all right, some dudes would do that. You'll never catch me wearing something else, something that somebody else got. He was knocking down all the women that he thought Pac was knocking down. And what I mean is having sex with. Why would you want to have sex with women you know for sure a dude that was once cool with you was dealing with? That's that image. Because you got to realize, bruh, Puff and Pac was cool at one time. We know this. Mopreme said that they was going to sign the Bad Boy. So if he's going to sign to Bad Boy, it was because of Corey and them. I put that picture on the internet. I put the picture on my channel of Corey Jones. Is Corey Jones, Corey Jacobs? I think Corey Jacobs and Pac right next to each other. Those are the ones who got the 16 to life sentence. That Pac was going to go and be with them first. But then Mopreme said when it became just Big and Puff, because Corey then went to jail, he changed his direction. But nobody know why Pac and Puff fell out like they did. You understand what I'm saying? Nobody know why. But Puff had an obsession with him for whatever reason it was, because he started wanting to act. He started wanting to rap. He had an obsession so bad that at his Grammy Award winning speech, he used the same speech that Pac used. That shit is crazy. So when I say I'm obsessed with talking about Puff and telling y'all the truth, who's obsessed with who? Pac had Sarah before Puff. Allegedly, he had Sally before Puff. And Kim had an obsession or liked Pac so much, she on the red carpet with Tupac shirt on. Who's obsessed with who?
So you believe Diddy, he only got with Sarah Chapman because Pac, he had her at one point.
And it was a bet in the office. Sarah was messing with an NBA basketball player.
On top of everything else, Diddy is now facing a series of serious allegations that continue to add fuel to the controversy surrounding him. One lawsuit filed by an unnamed woman claims that in 2018 she was allegedly assaulted by the rapper in a disturbing incident that reportedly involved a television remote. According to the filing, the woman also alleges that Diddy and another individual later participated in a violent assault against her. The lawsuit claims the incident happened after a tense FaceTime call in which the woman accused Diddy of being connected to the death of Tupac Shakur. Shortly after that accusation, she says the situation escalated into the alleged attack.
The Coastal Sheriff came out to the neighbor's home at the time of the incident because several police reports several 911 calls allegedly were made.
According to the lawsuit, several weeks after the accuser went to the hospital because she was still in pain. The lawsuit claims hospital personnel called Walnut Creek police, who took a statement from the accuser. This time, she said she did not want to name Diddy. She says she was afraid that she wouldn't be believed and that later on, the rapper would harm her.
The lawsuit goes on to describe a deeply disturbing sequence of alleged events. According to the filing, the woman claims Diddy forcibly removed her clothing, covered her body with oil or lubricant, and then assaulted her using a television remote. During the alleged attack, she says he told her that her life was in his hands, warning that if he wanted, she could disappear and never be seen again. Despite allegedly being given a large amount of drugs, the woman claims she was eventually able to gather enough strength to stand up and leave the situation. The lawsuit states that Diddy appeared surprised that she was even able to move. Afterward, she alleges he attempted to offer her money in exchange for her silence and asked her to say the encounter had been consensual.